gravity well, things happen to people. Leave the gravity field, things tend to happen to people. Not everybody, not all the time. This is a working hypothesis, but it's got some merit, significant merit. Government agencies are interested in this. What happens to people who leave the gravity well? Talk seriously to a guy who worked with one of these low gravity training chambers. Back and forth. Do people ever have out of the body experience? Are you kidding? All the time? Really? Oh yeah, absolutely. What does out of the body experience mean? It means that the person is perceiving some section of reality from outside their body, and they know it. What psychiatrists would call psychotic behavior, for which they want to provide many medications. My boy, we have to stuff you back in, because this is not good, what's happening to you. Well, doctor, I had a great time. I had no problem out there. It was tremendous, in fact. In fact, I could tell you a lot about what I realized about my life, existence, reality, all sorts of things. Indeed, my boy, all hallucinations, for which we will medicate you. Because I can tell you, paranoid schizophrenia, we have the labels for this. Gives you another slant on psychiatry. The primary role of psychiatry is to stuff people back in. Now, I've researched this for many years as a reporter. I can tell you, I'm not just, chatting about that. I can give you chapter on verse on why psychiatry is an absolute pseudoscience, has absolutely no basis in science whatsoever. There is absolutely no laboratory test of any kind for a definitive diagnosis of any of the 300 officially certified mental disorders. 0 tests. No blood test, no urine test, no hair test, no anus test, no toe test, no eye test, no genetic assay, no brain scan, no nothing. And if you read the DSM, which is the Bible of psychiatric profession, you discover that nowhere in there, I don't care what it is, autism, schizophrenia, anything, from the oldest classical labels to the newest ones, oppositional defiance disorder, whatever, will you find a definitive laboratory test that allows the psychiatrist to make that diagnosis? Wow. I wish I could float a scam like that. I mean, we're talking big time bullshit. Not little stuff. This is big time. You're in the majors when you're doing that. You're in the major leagues when you're doing that. And to convince the government to back you up and make you a virtual monopoly in the field of mental health, to even back you up with courts, 72-hour lockdowns at psych wards, guns if necessary, to enforce that monopoly over the mind, that is some big-time con. Big-time con. On a PBS episode of Frontline called Does ADHD Exist?, they interviewed Dr. Russell Barkley, who was at the time professor of neurology, blah, 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 at the University of Massachusetts, and they said, well, a lot of people are asking, does this disorder really exist? Because they're saying there's no blood test. To which Barkley, you love it. It doesn't happen that often. When they just step right into it. With full arrogance. You people don't understand the science, our kind of science. Of course there's no blood test for ADHD. There's no kind of test at all. In fact, if that was required in our science, we would have no mental disorders at all, he said, because there is no laboratory test of any kind for any of the mental disorders, which would be absurd, because therefore it would prove that there are none of our labels mean anything, which that couldn't be, therefore it's science. Dr. Barkley, give the man a plaque, right? Give him an award, bring him on stage, sit him in the throne. The lockdown of the mind, because the drugs follow. Well, out of the body experience, really? Paranoid schizophrenia. Haldol, I think we've got a good drug for you. Well, if we don't like that one, we'll try Risperdal, and if necessary, Thorazine, but that's out of the distance somewhere, because we want to stuff you back in.